Welcome back to the Michigan Business Beat, brought to you on the Michigan Business Network. I'm Chris Holman, and we're coming to you from our studios at the Capital Region International Airport. We're going to go a little south of here to Mason, Michigan. We're going to spend some time with Bill Hufnagel. He's the president and CEO of Dart Bank, and why they are a perfect example of a community bank, but they're also coming into some milestones. So, Bill Hufnagel, welcome to the show, and let's talk about that a little bit. You guys have been around a while.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Chris. And yeah, we're excited. This Friday, actually, the 25th of April, we'll be celebrating our 100-year anniversary, which is pretty amazing. So yeah, 100 years in business in the Mason community and throughout Michigan. And yeah, so excited to be celebrating that.
Well, I can remember when Mason had two banks and they competed for everything. And let's go back to the beginnings and let's talk a little bit about Raleigh Dart and his son Doc.
Yeah, so in 1925 when they started the bank, what's always amazing to me is when you look back and how banks were started in those times in the communities, they would look at it, they get a group of individuals within the community, especially in this community, a lot of local farmers, a lot of the people there, they raised $25,000. And that's what they needed to start the bank. And as you and I know now, to do that same type of thing, probably looking at $25 million of capital that you needed to require to start a bank. So back in those days, they would start it, and it was truly a community bank serving those communities that they were placed in, and doing that type of stuff. So Rollin C. Dart was the first president CEO in 1925.
It's kind of interesting because I knew Raleigh very well for many, many years, not in 1925. I
All
do.
right.
Okay.
Yeah.
But he was just such a piece of the fabric of your community, of Mason community.
And that was an amazing thing. So it's the son Roland B. Dart is who probably most people know with the bank, and he took president CEO in 1964, and served in that role through 1999. So I think that's the people that probably the person, if you say who is the face of Dart Bank, he would have been the face of Dart Bank. And pretty fortunate. I'm only the fifth president and CEO of the bank during that 100 years, which is pretty amazing in its own right. I don't think I'll do the same amount of time that Roland B. Dart was able to do, but hopefully, God willing, I can do my share of time here at the bank. So
You don't know, Bill. We may have your grandson on sometime talking about you. And
yeah, that I would never leave, and that he'd suck her out or whatever. So yeah, that could be what my grandson would probably be saying. But
well, I'll tell you what, though, you guys have been about growth, and your footprint has grown. Let's talk about that a little bit.
yeah, I think as we looked at the bank and what changes we needed to make, when I came to the bank, we had three branches, and if we're looking at Holt, Grand Ledge, and Mason, we opened another one in Lansing when I came to the bank and had the mortgage operation that we brought along with us. And then now we have those four branches, but we're also going to have another 12 loan production offices throughout Michigan, which is going to be great and help our growth. And then we're really starting to serve, not only all across Michigan with those loan production, but also doing business in all 50 states at this
Yeah.
point.
So let's talk about things like innovation, deep dedication, being a big part of your community. Go a little deeper into some of those things about innovation.
On the innovation side of it, it's as a business, in order to survive 100 years, you have to be willing to change, and you have to do differently the way you operate, and the banking's no different than that. So I think the innovation has been a big part of what we've had to do, and where that innovation looks at is you build the culture, as you're trying to hire talent. We're 350 employees now. We have employees in order to get talent and to serve some of those different things. We have people working in 22 states. So we've had to embrace some of that. And then the technology side of it, just the software and the things you have to do to protect your customers, to be able to bank from anywhere, to be able to do all those things. It's really, you have to be on the cutting edge of it. It used to be community banks would wait and do it a few years later. Now we're really having to be at the tip of the spear, I call it, really being out there and trying to do it in the beginning.
Well, you brought some innovation there for sure. So let's talk about the Michigan Bankers Association. We just had Ran on not too long ago. They were on hand for the celebration. Share a little bit about how they've helped Dart.
Yeah, I mean, we're fortunate. We have Michigan Bankers Association. We have Community Bankers of Michigan, which Roland Dart was, one of the founding members of that too. So, what they do is they really help to get us into into the political side of it, to make sure our voice is being heard, to make sure things are being taken care of, to help all the community banks as we communicate with each other and help grow. And they've been a great resource for us, and both of them have been really great partners and have helped us along the way.
Well, so Bill, you guys have come a long way. You're moving all around Michigan in the future, and like you said, to other states. Tell me where you're headed for the next 100 years.
Yeah, I think you're going to continually see us change. We're going to look at new business lines, new niche businesses, trying to find ways that we can serve people differently. And I think that's going to be a key part of what we do. And probably the most important thing to me is the culture, taking care of the communities we serve, taking care of our employees. Like I said, we have 350 employees that are extremely important to me, important to the bank. We have all of our shareholders. So we have a lot of people that we need to take care of. I think if we do that, we'll make it another 100 years.
Well, these days, it's certainly all about talent. Bill Hufnagel, President and CEO of Dart Bank. Congratulations. Happy birthday, I guess.
Yeah, thank you very much.
All right, buddy.
Appreciate it.
Good to have you on.
Nice talking to you guys. Have a great day.
You all have been watching the Michigan Business Beat on the Michigan Business Network. I'm Chris Holman, and we will be back with more.